Very, very brief. It's about Ibrahim Traoré, the Burkina Faso president. I have to say I was very, very disappointed. Very, very disappointed to hear that Burkina Faso citizens abroad were protesting against.
Good morning, guys. Good morning. Good morning. First of all, I would like to apologize to Julius Malema, not because I've changed my mind in disagreeing with him as far as immigration is concerned in the border control in Africa. Nothing has changed there, but I want to apologize to Julius Malema for not listening to him. You know, he's been screaming his lungs out for the longest time now, criticizing the West, but we were not listening. I'm talking about people like me. And you know, when they say ignorance is bliss, you know, I was enjoying my ignorance. I just started having an interest in politics like this. It hasn't been up to a year, because the only time that I began to be interested in politics, it was when MK did what it did the past elections. I was like, what is happening? I need to focus and really see these things. But you see, once you see certain things, it becomes very difficult for you to remove your eyes from that thing. And when it comes to the West exploiting Africa now, this thing, you know, it is something that they don't want to let go of.
France occupied Burkina Faso for generations. They stole gold and uranium, billions of dollars of resources for pennies on the dollar, while the people of Burkina Faso suffered. But Burkina Faso's new revolutionary leader, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, says no more. Traoré has kicked out all of the French troops from his country in Africa. He has banned exports of gold to Paris, and he has dropped French as the official language of Burkina Faso. It's a total cultural, political, and economic reset. Now, obviously, French President Emmanuel Macron is kind of upset with all of this. He has made his position known. And President Traoré beautifully responded. He said, if anyone is ungrateful, it is him, Emmanuel Macron. France exists today thanks to our ancestors. They should pray for us. And Burkina Faso is making it clear that this is not about some attack on France. This is about independence and sovereignty. Just last week, Burkina Faso's President Traoré decided to release 4 French spies who were guilty of attempting to commit a coup against the president, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, in 2022. The message is clear. Burkina Faso is not the pawn of France or the Dutch or the United States anymore, but forgiveness is also at the heart of their revolution. Traoré says that this is not just a split, it is a revolution with global ripples. I couldn't have said it better myself.
And some people have been criticizing the organization that ECOWAS, yes, they've been criticizing ECOWAS, saying ECOWAS is a tool of the West so that the West can continue keeping its claws in Africa, pulling all the strings in Africa and keeping Africa right at the bottom.
Wow. Africans living in France demand that Ibrahim Traoré should step down as the president of Burkina Faso. Oh my goodness. Now, the Africans living in France, including people, Nigerians and other Africans in France, they are protesting that Ibrahim Traoré, the president of Burkina Faso, president of Mali, and president of Niger should step down as the president. That what they want is a democracy. They want a democratic state or country. They don't want a dictator. I don't understand. Now they are calling Ibrahim Traoré a dictator. They are calling the Mali president a dictator and Niger president a dictator because they are not politicians who will promise us heaven and earth, and after that they will be doing the opposite. They are not like the politicians who will be in Awada and they will be answerable to their colonial masters because they are not giving attention to the colonial masters. That is why Africans in France are being pushed to come and protest against them. If you protest from here to Jerusalem, I pray, let Ibrahim Traoré remain. The impact or the effect of their good governance in their land, in their country, We in far nations, in far countries, we are benefiting from it a little. At least when other Africans are living comfortably, understand, there will be a limit of Africans traveling to France, to Europe, to UN. That is the reason why Burkina Faso President Ibrahim Traore created a lot of job opportunities. So anybody who is asking for them to step down, in fact, let that person go and hawk transformer, because these people are transforming Africa. You want democracy. Nigeria is practicing democracy, but in a system whereby the person that won the election will not be given his mandate. This is called democracy. In fact, there is no democracy in Africa. What we practice in Africa is democracy. Go to Cameroon, you will see that the president of Cameroon has been there for many years. Go to Gabon and other African nations. They are practicing democracy. Yes. If you don't know the meaning of democracy, don't bring democracy to Africa, because Africa doesn't practice democracy. It's better for them to remain there and develop their part of Africa, so that there will be a limit traveling to other people's land. We will go there, we become boy. You will see a graduate, a medical doctor. You will travel abroad and you will be doing shoe shiner. You will be cleaning people's house because you are looking for a greener pasture. God will deliver us. And anybody who is calling for these people to step down, let electric shock that person. Please.
And now, and also I once saw long time ago, when I was not paying attention, not even that long time ago, I think about 2-3 years, they said with the fourth industrialization that is coming, Africa will be caught between the East and the West. He said the focus will be on Africa. And I was like, how? But then again, I wasn't paying attention. Hey, guys, yay. So I just want to share with you, so that maybe if you were not enlightened much about maybe what the West want from Burkina Faso, why we see the people, because the people that were protesting in France, those people, apparently they included people from Nigeria, and that talks to ECOWAS. People are accusing ECOWAS there, and also some people from Niger and Mali and Burkina Faso. So it's a combination. So when you're looking at that combination, it is the combination that also talks to the ECOWAS, the formation of ECOWAS before Niger, Mali and Burkina Faso decided, no, what, we're going to take our own path. So we know that ECOWAS fears that these three countries are going to recruit other countries to take their side and finally leave ECOWAS. And now people are accusing the people that were protesting in France that they were paid by France, because hey guys, I am not getting over this. So now also people have shared video clips that the number of people that were protesting in France cannot be compared to the number of the youth that was protesting in Burkina Faso in support of Ibrahim Traore. And I'm going to share those video clips with you.
France and United States are planning on attacking Burkina Faso. I saw a video yesterday. There are protests being held in France by Burkina Faso's citizens in France. They said Ibrahim Traore should step down. They don't want him as their president anymore. Now, we all know who is behind the whole protest. We know who is sponsoring the protest. It's France. Except we want to be lying to ourselves. There's another video that came out a few days ago. This American General Langley, just watch the video and see what they are talking about Ibrahim Traore.
Does that sort of corruption and bribery go on with regard to the Belt and Road?
Absolutely, Chairman. I see this, and I don't mind calling them out, but Captain and Burkina Faso, as they...
Famille, très urgent. Coup d'État échoué hier nuit au Burkina Faso. Oui, tu as bien entendu. Coup d'État échoué hier nuit au Burkina Faso. Sortez massivement, nous allons remettre messieurs, ce monsieur qu'on appelle le président de la Commission nationale de sécurité d'État, que vous connaissez au nom du commandant Oumarou Yabré. Ce monsieur béni du Burkina Faso. Ce monsieur est béni de la tête des hommes intègres. Oui, lui-même qui était le...
And now, when you look at this and the assassination attempt as well, and the betrayal, you see, let me tell you see the one that they put in power when they removed the government that was there. I'm talking about now Ibrahim Traore and his people that he was with from the military. There's somebody that they put in there. And when they removed that person, they said they removed that person they put as the coup leaders in there because he became compromised and started associating with himself with the West that has been exploiting Burkina Faso for the longest time. So now they were trying to change things, and this person that they put there after the coup seemed to be taking them back to where they don't want to go to, taking them back to the very thing that they are trying to change. So now this very same person is involved in an attempted coup and the attempted unaliving of Ibrahim Traore. And then when I saw this, I was like, we are our own enemies. It is our own people that open ourselves up to these things. And I also saw, I'm going to share this, even the EFF have shared a post supporting Ibrahim Traore. And now this comes from a political party that is led by somebody who is against coups. Julius Malema despises military government with all his heart. He has been saying that so many times, and I'm going to share that with you. So,
there was a coup in Mali. There was a coup in Burkina Faso. The continent seems to be regressing.
Absolutely, and that is something that we said the AU should be firm, that such countries which engage in such activities must be isolated. We don't need military to take over the government. We must subscribe to democracy. The people's choices must be respected.
We as the EFF condemn the military takeover of political power in different parts of African continent. Political power must exclusively be established through free, fair, transparent and democratic elections and not through the barrel of a gun. We call on all regional bodies and the African Union to always decisively suppress military takeover of political power in each and every country. The military takeover of Burkina Faso must be suppressed and the Mali must be forced to transit towards civilian political power as a matter of agency. We are aware that some of this military...
So in Burkina Faso, Damiba, the guy who first led the coup d'etat in Burkina Faso, with the support of the military, and immediately he took power. The main aim or the reason why the military supported him was for him to lead Burkina Faso through revolution to success. But immediately he took power, he was compromised by France. And then the military again through Ibrahim Traore took power from him with immediate effect. Now this guy, in collaboration with another guy named Johnny Compaoré, no longer Blaise Compaoré, but Johnny Compaoré, with both of them having support from mercenaries on the borders of Ivory Coast, they decided to go to Burkina Faso, and the end goal of them going to Burkina Faso was to start a chaos in Burkina Faso, starting from the eastern part of the country, and then in the capital city they are going to cause a lot of chaos around the presidential palace, use drones and whatever they can use, create a lot of confusion in there, in fighting enough to change the regime of Ibrahim Traore. That was the plan. And this particular operation, I don't need to mention whatever name, but you should be able to know the person who is funding the operation. As these people are planning this plot in Burkina Faso to go and fight around the presidential palace and cause confusion in the country and change regime, the United States of America issued level 4 advisory to travelers that they should not travel to Burkina Faso. And according to them, terrorists in the region are trying to attack some part of the country and all that. So they advise travelers not to go to Burkina Faso, and US citizens who are already in Burkina Faso should not visit certain region because there might be chaos there. How do they know? How were they able to identify that something is about to happen? That's a question, just a question. I'm not blaming anybody. Within that same period, General Langley, this house leave, is accusing Captain Ibrahim Traoré of using the resources of Burkina Faso to cover himself and then protect himself, and that the military leadership of Burkina Faso has become a threat to Burkinabe people, which simply means that it is time for the United States to go and liberate the people of Burkina Faso, just like they went to Libya and liberate Gaddafi. And before this thing starts, in France, the Imperial Master gathers on 20 people and then they were protesting against Ibrahim Traoré in France, that he's a dictator, he's causing confusion and then unaliving civilians and all that. So they are just determined to take this guy down. So this is exactly what happened in Burkina Faso. Currently, the people who are plotting this nonsense, all of them have been arrested. Let them know we are no longer in 1920. This nonsense is not going to hold.
Very, very brief. It's about Ibrahim Traoré, the Burkina Faso president. I have to say I was very, very disappointed to hear that Burkina Faso citizens abroad were protesting against his government. How can you protest against someone who is effectively changing geopolitics in Africa? How can you effectively say that you are protesting against Ibrahim Traoré? What has urged me to respond on this platform is because someone wrote to me through my people asking me to address the Ibrahim Traoré situation. It is clear to me that there is an issue with his leadership. And when I say an issue, not necessarily an issue, but people are worried and concerned about how he is conducting and making sure that he effectively caters for Burkina Faso citizens. I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't seem to understand why Burkina Faso citizens abroad were protesting if it wasn't because you have been paid to protest. He, in my view, from what we can gather, has had 18 assassination attempts. That is a world record. 18 assassination attempts. And I'm talking about fake assassinations. 18 assassination attempts. That is worrying. I'm calling on all African leaders to do what we can to protect Ibrahim Traoré. I know that not all African leaders support the way he has taken over power, but it is clear to me, and it is clear to those who want to get rid of him, and those protesting, and those who support him, that he is very, very effective as a leader. And I am supporting Ibrahim Traoré all the way. All the way. I would not repeat this. Ibrahim Traoré has all my support. And to all Burkina Faso citizens, both abroad and in your country, make sure you fall behind your leader. What we are experiencing in Africa is great. He's changing geopolitics for the better. And for those who are planning assassination attempts and assassination coups, it will not work. It will not work. Africa must protect Ibrahim Traoré. Thank you.